Yeah, I bless God. Everything has been good. I thank God. Though it has not been easy, but thank God for the grace.
And what are the projects you worked on the last, let's say, 12 months?
Okay.
Took it from there.
In the past 12 months, I've been able to work on some projects, both in music and in theater.
Okay.
Let me talk about the music first. In my music career, I've been able to enter the studio to produce some um, major hits and also work on my band since I know because sometimes I traveled. So when I wasn't around, I left my band. We really communicated on phone. So when I came around, I tried to form. We have a reformation. So I was able to form the band very well and put us back to where we belong. Then I did a couple of videos, musical videos with my band, and we also organized some retreats for ourselves, calling our bosses come and give us some retreats. So and I had featured in some music videos as well. Then we have played at shows, different shows. Play at functions, at various ceremonies, wedding ceremonies, and all that. So that's that as far as my music is concerned. And to God be the glory, I was even awarded as the best is inspirational gospel act, best inspirational act of the year by um, this. I've forgotten the name. Yeah, they are based in UK, so they gave me the award when they had this thing a few months ago. So coming back to theater, I was able to bring back the memory. I worked on the legacy of my dad. So and Oyinadejobi that a lot of people have forgotten. They are now getting to know that okay, this Baba, he was once a theater icon, was a theater legend. So his memory still lives on. So I was able to do that and achieve that, and I thank God. And I've been to different locations to feature in some movies, even major movies, so to say, like Jagun Jagun and all that. So and I was able to re resurrect my dad's drama series that he used to do when he was alive, Koto Ashipa.
Mm.
So I'm now working on the rebirth of Koto Ashipa. We've done the pilot shoots and it has been enjoying airplay. So very soon, fully, we're going to enter the location fully for the first season of that drama series. So far that's how it has been.
Okay. Let's talk about the memory of your late dad. Can you tell us a bit about what has been happening to all he left behind in terms of body of works and all that since how many years now?
It's been 24 years now that he passed away. 24 years, precisely 31st of May, and he was buried on the 5th of August, year 2000. So, and since he passed away, it was a shock to us because we never expected it. I was still in school when I was about to put down my pen. Then when he passed away, I think just few months after he passed away, that was when I finished my tertiary education.
Primary school.
No, tertiary. I went to, but I couldn't get there.
Okay.
So from there, I went to OAU.
Okay.
So I finished everything that very year. So I was like, how am I going to do it? I was just baffled, and most of my siblings, many of them, my elderly ones, they are into Christian productions.
Okay.
So they didn't really venture into the area where my father was majorly involved in. So then I struggled to cope with his theater group, but based on the fact that I was very young then and inexperienced as well, so I couldn't move far. So I faced my music squarely, and after a long while, I decided to come back. But after since he died, a lot has happened. Like his theater company could no more hold. Just like Macbeth said, that when the center, I mean, when things fall apart,
Yeah.
the center could no more hold. So things really fell apart. The center couldn't hold. All his theater members, theater band company members, the likes of Tafaloyede, Alabielo, and all that, Abawande, all of them, they have, they have to look for a better option. They stood alone, and the wives that he left behind,
How many?
they were five. They were five, but right now they are four. They are four. So the wives, they was, let me say, maybe because they center all their attention on my dad while he was alive. They moved together. They all this traveling theater. That was what they were doing then. So when that one has stopped, who will be the one to lead the wagon to do all this traveling theater? Then coupled with what was happening, the society is no more really enjoying traveling theater again. Even stage production is almost dying off. So it now remain home video and all that. So it was really hard to sustain his legacy after he died, because nobody to continue as at then. So, and along the line, one by one, at least we can recall like 3, 4, 5 members of his group that later passed away as well. So like the likes of Jeba, Tafoloyede, Alabielo, um, Alaba, Odualapere, so Radowu, so all of them like that, they have died. And those were the ones that I can really say, okay, let me run to them. Let's do something. But when they died, it was like the world was collapsing. So, but we thank God that things are now getting shape.
Take us back to the impact of Papa when he was alive. What was his big break? What gave him that big break that made him very popular?
I can say, though he was a disabled man while alive, but unless you are told, nobody could believe that he had that negative side of him. He was very hardworking. He was very, very hardworking, and he doesn't believe. He did not believe that something is impossible. It was from him I first heard that there is ability in disability. There was a day we were given an assignment in the school, and I was trying to give an excuse that this thing that it was beyond us. It made me to understand that there is nothing impossible. So that spirit of possibility in him made things possible for him. Then as well, um, he was a very good composer. He composed songs a lot. So a lot of churches they used to come to him for compositions for their wedding ceremony, for their church anniversary, for burial. Different churches. I can talk of like 5, 6, 7 churches that used to come. Methodist Church, Anglican, Catholic, also they will come to him for music. This thing he will teach them songs, teach them all that. So I think all those things gave him that that breakthrough in the industry. Then the way he delivered his stories is also unique. There was a day I called him that, like normally I do, I used to call him. I said, Bami, why can't you just do a movie that will show all these witchcrafts, all these because then I think I watched Aye of Ogunde, Let's Ogunde. So now said I should go and watch all these uh, stories or all these plays that I cannot pin him to a particular aspect that he can go like this today, go like that today. That he believes so much in talking about the society in general, not particular about maybe uh, for the riches, for the young, for the old, that he has to touch so many places. So the diversity of his theater then gives him that, it gave him that edge. So I can say then he has this baritone voice that if he speaks, then you will think maybe it was a lion that was roaring.
Mm.
So his voice commanded, it gave a command, it gave a command then. So all that, including his physique, even while sitting down, he was a giant. While on seat, he was a giant. So all that come together. Then let me say, because he was a prince, not just by mouth prince. He was a real prince
Of
of Oshogbo land. His grandfather, his grandfather then happened to be the second king of Oshogbo land. So, which made him an heir, a liable and viable heir to the throne. So he was a prince. So people really, they used to treat him like a prince, like a somebody that should be respected. So and all that all together, the members in his group, their commitment then also give him it gave him that edge, that breakthrough, because he had very well committed staff, theater members, the likes of Babawande, Tafaloyede, Alabi Yellow, Iya Osogbo, and all that. So they were, they had this passion for theater. They had this passion for what they were doing. So I think that gave him that edge. Because there is a saying that a tree cannot make a forest. Oyinadejobi couldn't have been Oyinadejobi if not for all these people that I mentioned. There were many, but just the few I could mention. So because for the likes of late Hubert Ogunde to have been coming to our house, come and meet him, to discuss with him, to just I came for a visit or just to come and say hello, things like that. That means he was a great man in the industry.
how did Baba get into theater? Because at that time, that was very, very, very many years ago.
Well, how he got into theater, I might not say that one fully, because when he became an actor,
Yeah.
I don't think I was born. I was not even born. No, I don't think. I was still maybe at the loins of his. The story I had was that when he finished school, he was
In Oshobo.
he was in Osogbo teaching, was teaching. So he had an uncle. His name was Primate Adejobi, former primate of Church of the Lord Adra. So he came to Oshogbo and asked of him, where is Oyin? Oyin, he said he was at work. So when he got to his working place, he saw him standing with his walking stick. So then he used to stand on one leg, now use the other leg that were really bad. So he will wrap the leg to that stick, that long, very thick stick. So we use that one to stand. So he said when that big uncle then, when he was watching it from the window, was like he saw how he was struggling to write from one end of the chalkboard to the other end. And after that What do we call it? That lesson period. Now called him that, Oyin, you are no more doing this thing. I'm taking you to Lagos. You are following me to Lagos. Ah, uncle, why? I got no other job to do. He said, no, no, you are following me to Lagos. That was how he followed him. Meanwhile, while he was in Oshogbo, in the church, he used to write stories for the church group, for the church choir. He would teach them song. Along the line, the songs, he would try to make it more explanatory to the people. So they will add a bit of drama to it. So they will stage the play in the church with the song. That not a particular drama group, not a particular church drama group, but the choir. So they will stage, they will sing, they will bring out some people to come and act it up. So that was how it started then in the church. But on getting to Lagos, then he said one day he just went to where they put the pipe organ, the church pipe organ. So and he started playing without learning it. He just started playing. So people all around were like, ah, who was playing that pipe organ? Because when they brought the organ to the church, nobody could play it. There was nobody to play it. So they just my big uncle then just brought it down and they put the organ in the church. So when he was not doing anything, he just went to the church, started playing the organ. So they were like, wow, so Talokwe, you know how to play all these things. He was just playing it. But how manage? How come you were able to use your leg to press the pedal? Because pipe organ, there is no way you can play a pipe organ without pressing the pedal. Then he said, only God can say that. All he knew that he was just putting his leg on the pedal and he was pressing and he was typed. So that was how they absorbed him into the choir department in the church. Just like the way he was doing while he was in Oshogbo. He started writing stories that, okay, let's step this thing up. Not just singing alone during services. Let us start acting with it. So he started teaching them how to act. Okay, act this thing, act this thing. All those things were Bible stories. So that was how they started. I think that was how he developed interest in acting, and before we know it, he formed this group. And he said his first stage play that he did, that was done in a global hall in Lagos here. So I think the people in the church that have seen him performed, that knew what he could do, so they came to global hall to watch him live. Okay, this is not a church setting, things like that, but we want to come and watch. And he said he staged that first play titled Paradise Lost. That was his first stage play. That is a story from the Bible. How the story of Adam and Eve, Paradise Lost. That was his first story. And he said after they finished acting, after they finished the theater production, that a man just came from the crowd, came to meet him on the stage. And lo and behold, he happened to become late Hubert Ogunde. That was when he met him for the first time. That he shook him and said, Oyin, you are going places. That was the statement he made that day. That he enjoyed everything he watched, that you are going places. So I think that word of encouragement gave him another push to move further. And later, when he decided to return back to Shogo, he now formed his theater group. So that's how he.
Who were his contemporaries at that time?
There were three, majorly three.
Okay.
His friend, late Pa Ogumola. His friend as well, late Doladipo. Then I may not say the third person happened to be their contemporary, but let me say a senior colleague. That's a late Hubert Ogunde. So from the story he told me when he was celebrating his 50th this thing on stage, he said, I think somebody asked that question, that how did the association then, ANTP, how did the, how was it formed? Now said he had his group. Ogumola has his group. He had his group. Bradipo, he had his own group. And the leaders, they were very close. They were friends. But their members, they don't see eye to eye. They were always fighting, thinking that okay, that is he said if they were having rehearsal here, no other group members from outside can pass where they were having their rehearsals. It's to turn to street fights. So it was becoming unbecoming of them that like I some of Bola, some money. Okay. The leaders now come together, they came together, okay, how can we correct this thing? How can we make them know that we are one? So that was how they agreed that we can form this thing to become association. Ogumola group, Adejobi group, Radical group. Let us form it to be an association. So when they agree that okay, it's going to be an association, they will be operating under the same under one umbrella, but they will still have their own individual groups. So the question now came that who's now going to be the leader among the three of us? At first, they were thinking that maybe they should be rotating it, but they said no, that one can't be possible. That we should have a leader. That was how my dad now suggested that late Hubert Ogunde, he met him when he was in Lagos, and he had been into this theater before they all started. That they should all go and meet him in Lagos and talk to him if he can come and be their leader. So that was how they traveled down to come and meet him. So and he embraced them. That was how he became their leader, the first leader, the first president of ANTP. So that is how they started. They have other people, but those ones were not really into theater as such. But they are, I can say they are into something like that as well, like the likes of Alagba Faleti. Uh-huh. So because they were friends as well. But those that had groups, that had theater group, traveling theater. So these are Bradipo, Ogumola, and Adejobi. So those are their contemporaries there.